Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon or good evening. Today I have a talk for you about the wonderful evolution of our consciousness on this planet, especially within us humans. What I mostly like is his approach that it is really that way that we create our world. Each moment we do that. And if we all realize it, we can start changing really in a huge impact. And how he says it's only possible by reaching the present moment, stopping the interferences from what we have created in the past. You are already looking at things from the past. The outside world is the past. This time is actually only evolution. Evolution going on. But the most important fact here, I really want to point out in the beginning already, is to reduce your attention to the outside world, as it is not what forms you. It's the other way. You form it, and what you see is what you just formed, what you just gave information to bring this into form, what you see. So to go ahead creating, you have to create from a state of awareness or being where you are not looking at the outside external things. To create something really different, you have to do that from another state. And that state is the present moment. And that present moment, it's a way of level of frequency where you are tuned in. And we all the time get interrupted. This frequency, this life frequency, let's call it, for example, the Schumann frequency. You look up the internet for Schumann frequency. There it's explained what it is. And we always, with mobile phones, with all electronic things around us, we get interfered with different frequencies, and they bring us out of the life frequency. It's like a radio station, and that radio station, if you turn that button, you change the frequency, you change it to another receiver or sender mode. When you turn on that key, you have to turn it very smoothly and just perfect to receive the correct frequency of the clear information. And before and after this frequency, you will just hear odd noises. It will be completely interrupted and disrupted, and you cannot hear the clear voice of a song or of a talk. And that is exactly what we are facing all the time, with all this overload of information out there, and also with all this overload of electricity around us. Because, and this is really, it has a huge impact. When you're surrounded by all these electronic instruments that send out signals all the time, it interferes with your own vibration, let's say, and it brings you out of your clear vibration. It's immense how huge this impact is. Our work here, I will explain that later, how what our work is, to stay in that clear frequency of knowing exactly what is right and what is not right now, important to do or not to do, to be in the flow of life, in the flow frequency of life. Yeah, this is what it's a very important talk for all of us, and it is crazy what beautiful things you can create. Yeah, I wish you a wonderful listening to Eckhart's talk and later on to my talk. And don't forget that there is a gift waiting for you in the end when you have subscribed to my channel. Oh, now relax, lean back, take your cup of tea or cup of water and just enjoy your me time, which you already do.
On this planet, there's not just the evolution of consciousness, there is also conscious evolution of consciousness, and that happens through the human. And our talking here, being here together, is an expression of that conscious evolution of the universe. Suddenly, the evolution is not just the evolution of consciousness that's been going on for millions of years, but we've reached a stage where suddenly the evolution of consciousness becomes conscious evolution of consciousness. So we are the universe through you, through me. The universe is realizing its own journey, its own purpose, its own essence. Ultimately, the universe is becoming more. This is a transitional stage that we are at right now. This is why it's so difficult, because any transitional stage is difficult from one mode of being to another mode of being, and this new mode of being is conscious participation in the creative process of the universe through the human form, conscious participation in creation. And that happens when you face a situation, an external situation, and bring conscious presence to it rather than reactivity. You bring conscious presence. You are no longer at the mercy of externals. The external has the purpose of driving you to that deeper place of presence, that alert presence. Because if you don't go there, you suffer a lot and things get worse. And then you meet a situation consciously, and then it's no longer the same situation. What happens after that, the external world and your consciousness are a single phenomenon. So what happens in the external world depends on your state of what happens. Let's say the next thing that's going to happen, to a large extent, depends on your state of consciousness at this moment. And how a situation evolves that might be perceived as a difficult situation, how it evolves from now on, depends on the state of consciousness with which you meet or face that situation and deal with that situation. And then you will find suddenly it changes. And this is a very mysterious thing, but the important thing is to realize you are not at the mercy of externals. And it is of vital importance so that you become a participant in this conscious participant in the creative process of the universe, is you begin to change external reality. Sometimes, yes, by taking action, but primarily by being present, so that your action arises out of presence, which then becomes wise action and empowered action. I never tell people specifically what to do, because that's not my job. What do I do to change all the bad things that I see in the world? Well, I'm not my job is to address the causal realm. My job is to address what I perceive as the realm of cause. The world is the realm of effect. When you address the realm of cause, then you can deal with the realm of effect. The realm of effect will change as the causal, which is consciousness changes, the world changes. So what we need is more people awakening to who they are, the light of the world, and then we will find that reality changes as a reflection of the collective consciousness. And I won't make any predictions, except right now it seems fairly certain that we are moving into a time period of turbulence on a collective level. And that's a good thing. It's meant to happen. It's here to awaken us, although it could also make us more unconscious. And it's quite possible that it will awaken a certain segment of the population. It will make another segment of the population unconscious. That is not an impossible scenario. And this other segment of the population just needs more time. That's fine. They just need more time. This is quite possible. I don't want to go too far into this or speculate any further, but it will be much easier for those who awaken, whatever the external circumstances may be. It will be much easier to deal with that, to some extent even be protected up to a point, although ultimately what happens to the body doesn't really matter that much. Death will come sooner or later anyway. We don't need to speculate as to the totality of humanity and so on.
Okay, thank you very much, Eckhart. I really like your impulses here that give me so much to give more to it with my own self. And this is what you have to understand. Each one of us here, we all have so many different ways of expressing, but expressing the same thing. And this is why it's so complex and so needed that every soul here is there for their reason to express in their way to reach another being. Because maybe I cannot reach someone who doesn't match with my version, with how I interpret things, with how I talk, with my voice, with all the details of my being. There are creatures that connect better to it and some not, and they are better with matching with other people with a different detailed expression, different way. And there is so much about all this, as I tried to say, the voice, the rhythm of your voice, the sound, the things, the content, the energy that is transported through it, because you can have two people saying the same thing with the same words, with the same sound, but with a different energy load, and then it's already making a difference. And some people, and it's not that a person is always the same. You can one day listen to this person and then agree or resonate, and another day or another minute you can be tuned into a different state, and then you cannot connect to that one. It's so sensitive. It's all so sensitive. why is it so sensitive? The frequency range, there is a huge range of frequencies. It goes from 0 to, I don't know even, I mean, I think it's even from minus to 0 to plus in thousands stills of steps. So, and and that's why often people say it's a wonderful moment when two people meet in a certain way, for example, where they resonate perfectly together in a certain moment. And it can really be that it's that moment where it's resonating, and another moment those people not resonate. But it really shows that sensitivity of our ability of receiving information, which kind, which type, which which one. And that is why it's so important that there are so many creatures out there to reach us in every different state of our own frequency mode that we are into. And I wanted to explain a little bit what you can do to become more flexible. And that is what you have to become, more flexible in your variety of setting this frequency from high to low, to be able to set yourself into all the different stages of frequency, and that in a very fast way, so you can adapt very easily, very fast, and connect a lot easier to the flow of the actual moment, to stay in that flow longer and longer. And finally, it's completely normal for you to always be in that flow. And that is wonderful, I can tell you. And if two people, I come back to that because, I just recently had that experience with this resonation of two people, and it reminded me so much to this wonderful happening of this coherent, resonating moments that you can have with other people. It was really, really wonderful. It was a whole evening, through a whole evening. And that's what often, all of you have had such an experience. And if you look back to it, you will know that in that frequency of resonating with a person very, very much, you were completely in that joy frequency and in a very creative frequency. In that life frequency, in that creative life frequency. And what happens there if you have two resonating creators? It's like two. They play like table tennis. One sends out the signal, and the other one sends it back. Reflects it, back and forth, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. And it can increase by that. If it can get faster, speed up, and then really get really high in a high amplitude of frequency. If you add these two, if these resonate together, it's huge. It's a wonderful experience, of course, and you can keep that. It's possible to keep that. But it's a challenge for all of us, and that's the challenge that we have of consciousness, of this evolution of consciousness for us humans. And what can you do? Okay, if you don't have this person right now, where and it doesn't mean you don't have that person. It just means that in that moment you are not resonating with anyone. So if you have the moment, and that's mostly the time we have, you are not resonating with someone, and also resonating in a positive way. You can also resonate with someone in that aggressive mode too. Yeah, it's also possible. But and that's why this, what I'm telling you now, is so important, because when you learn that, you can decide and create in which frequency you resonate to. Yeah, and that is when you are self-centered, trained well enough. If you have trained that muscle of that flexible frequency creator in you, and that is around your heart, all the vagus nerve, it's called, that connects all organs inside of your body. You can train that nerve, and that is what we have to do. That is really what you have to. It's like when I say to you, you have to eat healthy food, and we all know what healthy food is. We don't have to even talk about it or say something, because we all know what it is. And it's the same when I say to you, you have to do some. And don't get me wrong here with telling you what you have to do. I just want to point out that intense importance that we all know about. And yeah, so but that's another talk here, talking content. But that you keep your body in shape doesn't mean to keep your body in shape. It means you're giving your own form, your information, enough attention to have it running perfectly as it is meant to be. Okay, that's all I'm saying here with keeping your body in shape. Have it running just as it is meant to be. And giving that attention, meaning going for walks or running or whatever, but yeah, there are moving your body throughout the day into all directions to keep it flexible, like the vagus nerve. So come back to that vagus nerve that you have to train. You can do that. And that's a combination of being in a healthy state, with eating healthy food, with being good with your body in motion, with keeping your body in motion, and with keeping your mind clear, clean, and your surrounding. Yeah? And there, even what is it called when you put in your apartment where you live? What is it called? Yes, Feng Shui. It's called, where it's telling you where to put what and to tidy up your apartment so you are not interfered so much by so many things. It makes completely sense to get your attention more to your inside world rather than to all the things that you are seeing out there. Yeah. And trust me, in my little room where I'm here now, it is full of things, and I just had that intention that was just coming up. Oh, I need to change something here. And I'm looking forward to do that. And that is what I want to encourage you. Tidy up your apartment, tidy up your thoughts, tidy up your relationships, and tidy up your behaviors, your everyday behaviors, and your thoughts especially. Observe your thinking, and as I told you many times, do this exercise of 1 week, writing down each thought that comes into your mind that gives you an intense feeling of action, for example, or an intense feeling of emotion. You will find that out. If you observe yourself for a week, you will see certain thoughts are very often repeating, and certain thoughts are really intense in giving you an emotion. And then write these thoughts down and look at them and check them out if they are really true. And maybe if they have a different way of perspective as well. If they are not, yeah, give them some attention and check them, prove them, these thoughts, by writing it down, making a list with 2 rows. On the left side you write down the thoughts, and on the right side you write a different version of this thought that might create a better feeling inside of you. Yeah. And yeah, another idea for many of us who are very busy all the time is meditation. Sitting down and just breathing, scanning through your body, observing your own feeling in that moment, your own symptoms in your body, to really connect with yourself. Yeah. These are all things you can do. And connect to people. Look for people. Go on to seminars. Watch videos from time to time. Yeah. Where this atmosphere is created. This kind of atmosphere where you can come to yourself. And there are like seminars where very, very wonderful ones where you are not allowed to talk, for example. A silent seminar. Without talking, without mobile phone, without anything. This is a wonderful way of reaching that inner life frequency and starting to create from your inside, from your intuitional sense part, that you can then hear a lot better. This voice, yeah, you can then hear that clear voice of intention, of intuition, because you have calmed down all the surroundings. This is what I meant with a radio station, when you set the frequency to the perfect point where you can listen and hear and understand the voice of the radio station, huh? Yeah, of your choice. Okay, and now don't forget who you really are. That wonderful, beautiful, one and only lottery win in this life, in your life. There is just you, the way you are. There's no one else. And you are meant to be here to express you to this world, to all the other lottery wins out there. To enjoy our lottery wins. And yeah, to enjoy this lottery win. Yeah, with all that's there, with deep emotions, with high emotions, as we describe them, huh? And with allowing everything to be there. And how wonderful is that if you feel that, okay, you allow a very sad feeling, and then, because if you allow it, you will come into that flexibility I'm talking about, to right in the next moment be in the high in the high emotion of joy, back into it, like a child. Yeah, it can be just like that, in a sad moment, crying, completely freaking out, and then in the next moment, everything is fine, playing a game, completely relaxed. Yeah, and this is what we have to train us, to allow these emotions and to become easier back into that flow of, okay, now it's felt through, now I can be joyful again. Yeah, this is our challenge we can work on with all what I've said. And yeah, and don't forget your wonderful free gift, which is, ta-da, a coaching session with me. Yes, you can have a free coaching session where we see which method I'm using for you, which it depends on which, what comes up, what is your actual situation, your feeling, your things that keep you busy in your head, and I will for sure help you out of this. This is what I can promise. Where it takes you, I cannot tell you, and you cannot tell as well. You will see. It's always a surprise after this doing already the whole session, where it brings you. That's as individual as we all are. Yeah, and now I wish you a wonderful day, wonderful minute, wonderful second, just every part, every step, every piece of your experience here in this human life shall be fulfilled with complete connection to the life flow. This is what I wish to you.